From airbags to dashboard beeps, car makers continue to make sure we're safer behind the wheel. But what's going on in the backseat of our car is just as important, especially when it comes to tiny passengers. HEC TV's Victoria Babu caught up with a St. Louis father who's using smartphone technology to protect our kids when put into a car seat.
A 2-year-old little girl inside the smoldering hot car, accidentally left behind by her caregivers.
She was just covered in sweat, like her ponytail was dripping sweat off of it.
It was a similar story like this one out of Kansas that caught the attention of Bob Steffen, a father of 3 from Sunset Hills.
So how many of us have picked a sweaty baby up out of a car? Heat causes injuries.
According to government safety figures, 53% of children who die from being left alone in a car were forgotten by their caregiver. Inventor Bob Steffen felt education alone was not enough to protect little ones like Lucy.
So my son Erin, he used to like to get out of his car seat going down the road. And he thought it was like a game. So he'd reach up and he'd play and hide behind the seat. He'd reach up and touch me. Well, the thing is, if a child's unrestrained in a car, there's nothing protecting them.
Steffen, who used to work in the auto industry, and a friend, a Ford engineer, came up with an alert system in 2000, now called Driver's Little Helper.
So we basically had the idea by the end of the day. What we were waiting on was a technology to catch up with the idea.
Back in 2000, sensors were limited to only detecting the presence of an object on a seat. They couldn't determine shifts in weight or pressure within a car seat.
We knew we wanted to let you know if the kid got out of the seat when the car was moving. We knew we wanted to see if it was too hot or too cold because, believe it or not, there's about a 15-degree difference between the front seat and back seat.
The year 2007 was a game changer for Steffen.
And we are calling it iPhone.
That's when the first iPhone was released and Bluetooth technology.
We knew what we wanted it to do. We had the roadmap. Then it was, now let's make it function.
Enter ad agency Moosylvania of Maplewood, which specializes in digital branding.
It was a lot of trial and error, a lot of working with the physical devices themselves. So, on my desk I have, about 10 phones that I had to test with, and it was a lot of back and forth.
Joseph Madden is Moosylvania's chief architect who heads up the digital department and helped create the Driver's Little Helper app.
So the biggest issue for us was making sure that the connectivity would work with all those phones. We had to go through 3 different operating system updates from Apple and Google, so we actually had to make changes to our app at that same time. So originally we were planning, okay, we have everything set, to learn that we then potentially had to redo some of the work that we'd already done.
It took a couple of years, but once phone manufacturers were able to make Bluetooth technology steadier, faster, with a longer battery life, those improvements gave Driver's Little Helper the green light to move forward.
And really that was able to make us make our product work properly and make it work, accurately.
But the true and final test came from some 24 families who were part of a focus group.
Okay, all set.
Erin Glarner of Clayton was one of the volunteers. The mother of 4 kids ranging in ages from 4 to 14 gave the app a test drive during the summer break.
The app's just like any app we get these days, very user-friendly. Putting it in the seat took, 10 seconds, and we were set. Could use it right away.
Erin downloaded the app and attached the Driver's Little Helper sensor to the car seat of her youngest child, 4-year-old Lucy. The Driver's Little Helper app automatically connects with the monitor using Bluetooth.
There have been times that she's gotten out, the alarm's gone off. She's old enough that she even hears it herself.
When your car comes to a stop, Driver's Little Helper will make sure everyone gets out safely, and it will let you know if your child is out of the car seat so that you can pull over and get your child secured again. After several minutes once you leave the car, the app will alert you if your child is still inside. If you miss 3 arrival alerts, the app will notify your emergency contacts that your child may need help. Being the mother of 4, do you see how someone could leave their child in a car, or does that seem foreign to you?
Oh, I can see how anybody could do it. None of us would want to think we could, but it's a scary thing that could happen to anybody. We live busy lives, distracted.
Driver's Little Helper hit the market in late 2015 with a price tag of $79.99 for the sensor pad, battery pack, app information, and instructional booklet. A proactive idea from one local dad who hopes to prevent headlines like these. For Innovations, I'm Victoria Babu.